Hey guys, so in today's collection video, I thought I would show you all my Buffy the Vampire Slayer books. Now this won't include magazines or comic books because I think I've done dedicated videos on those before. This is just all of my books. I'm not sure if I've ever done a video with all of my Buffy books in one place. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but well, if I have, I'm doing it again. So I have around 70 Buffy the Vampire Slayer books, so let's just get on. Hopefully it won't run for too long. This video will also feature Angel books as well, so technically it is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel books. So first up we have Here Be Monsters. There's the back of the book if you want to read it. Not Forgotten. One of my favourites, which I read to death when I was younger, Spike and Drew and Pretty Maids All in a Row. And I am just going to mention the authors because the Buffy books have a lot of different authors that write them. So this one is written by Christopher Golden. He has written loads and loads of Buffy and Angel books, and he has something to do with the comic books as well. Not Forgotten is written by Nancy Holder. Again, she's written a lot of Buffy and Angel books. And Here Be Monsters is written by Cameron Doki. Next up we have Doomsday Deck, which is another one that I read to death when I was younger. A lot of these books I haven't read in quite a while. In fact, I'll be honest with you, a lot of these books I've never read at all. But I'm hoping to change that this year because I have actually moved all of my Buffy the Vampire Slayer collection onto the bookcase where Game of Thrones used to be, if you remember. And I did that because a lot of the books were on a really tall shelf that I couldn't reach, and I do really want to read them, so I've brought them down. So hopefully you might see in future wrap-ups that I have actually read a lot more Buffy books. This one is written by, let's have a quick look, so I'm not too sure, Diana G. Gallagher. Next up we have Unnatural Selection. This is written by Mel Odom, or Odom, I hope I've said that right. And then we have Child of the Hunt. This was written by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. Resurrecting Ravana, which is written by Ray Garton. We have Obsidian Fate by Diana G. Gallagher. Stranger to the Sun, which was written by Jeff Marriott. I hope I've said that right. And as you can see, this one is signed by Alexis Denisof, who you can see on the front there, who played Wesley. We have Oz Into the Wild. This was written by Christopher Golden. Bruja, written by Mel Odom. The Angel Chronicles Volume 3. I'm not sure if I have the other volumes. These aren't in order. They really should be. And this was written by Nancy Holder. We have Paleo, which was written by Yvonne Navarro. How I Survived My Summer Vacation, Volume 1. This is a collection of short stories, so I believe it has different authors. Yes, if you look at the red writing there, it says the stories are by Cameron Doki, Nancy Holder, Yvonne Navarro, Paul Ruditis, I don't know how to say that, and Michelle West. We have Deep Water, which was written by Laura Ann Gilman and Josepha Sherman. Revenant, written by Mel Odom. The Harvest, written by Richie Tankersley Cusick. I hope I've said that right. Next up we have this omnibus featuring Ghoul Trouble, Crossings, Sweet 16 and Little Things. The Wicked Willow omnibus by Yvonne Navarro. Monster Island, which is a crossover of Buffy and Angel, which was written by Christopher Golden and Thomas E. Snigowski. I don't know if I've said that right. We have this one, which unfortunately doesn't have a cover. I don't know if it didn't have a cover when I bought it or if I've lost the cover along the way, but it is The Lost Slayer by Christopher Golden. We have Avatar, written by John Passarella. This one's very special. This one comes with a certificate of authenticity, and it is signed by David Boreanaz, Angel himself. Mine is number 160 out of 400. Next up we have the Buffy the Vampire Slayer Pop Quiz by Cynthia Boris. That's the back of the previous Angel one if you wanted to see that. And the back of the quiz book with some questions there if you wanted to try them. Then we have Immortal by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. Sons of Entropy, which is part of the Gatekeeper trilogy. This is book 3. Again, I can't remember if I have 1 or 2. That is by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. The Book of Force by Nancy Holder. Hollywood Noir by Jeff Marionette, I nearly just said. Sins of the Father by Christopher Golden. The Xander Years Volume 1 by, now bear with me, Keith R.A. DeCandido. Oh, I don't know if I've said that right. Another Buffy and Angel crossover. This one is the second in a trilogy, Unseen, Door to Alternity. And this was written by Nancy Holder and Jeff Mariotti. I don't know. Mariotti, is it? I don't know. We have the first in that series, which I probably should have shown you first, and this is called The Burning, again by Nancy Holder and Jeff Mariotti. We have Coyote Moon by John Vaughan-Holt. I'm sorry if you can see the dust that is going through the camera, by the way. That is because, like I said, these have been on a very, very high shelf and there's just dust everywhere. I really need to sort them out. Then we have book 2 of the Gatekeeper trilogy. I think I've shown you book 3, and this is Ghost Roads by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. We have The Wisdom of War by Christopher Golden. We have book 3 in the Unseen trilogy, Long Way Home, written by Nancy Holder and Jeff Mariotti. Shakedown by Don DeBrandit. I never know how to pronounce that last name. I've seen it a few times. Redemption by Mel Adom. Return to Chaos by Craig Shaw Gardner. The Lost Slayer Part 4, Original Sins by Christopher Golden. Halloween Rain by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. The Angel Chronicles Volume 1, again I think I showed Volume 3 before. This is by Nancy Holder. Blooded by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. Slayer, an expanded and updated, unofficial and unauthorised guide to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's too many U's. And that's by Keith Topping. We have Keep Me in Mind, which is a great cover, if I say so myself. And it's one of those Decide Your Destiny books. This one's called Stake Your Destiny. This is by Nancy Holder. I don't know if you guys ever did these as a kid, but it's one of those where you read a paragraph and then it says, if you want to turn left, go to page 500. If you want to turn right, go to page 6. I think you know what I mean. And I used to spend hours, I've not done this particular one, but I used to spend hours as a kid doing those Decide Your Destiny books. And it was great because it's one of them books which you can read again and again and just keep changing what you're doing. Then this was my personal favourite when I was a kid, probably the one out of all of these that I've read the most, along with Pretty Maids All in a Row, and that is Spark and Burn. It's no coincidence that they are both Spike-centric books, and this is by Diana G. Gallagher. We have The Journals of Rupert Giles, Part 1 by Nancy Holder. Impressions by Dorana Durgin. Vengeance by Scott Cernsin and Dan Jolly. The Darkening, which is book 1 in the Wicked Willow trilogy. And this is written by Yvonne Navarro. Sorry, I'm losing my voice doing this. Haunted by Jeff Mariotti. Yet again, another absolute favourite. If you know me, you'll know that Faith is my favourite Buffy the Vampire Slayer character. In fact, one of my favourite fictional characters of all time. This is Go Ask Malice, A Slayer's Diary by Robert Joseph Levi. And I cannot even tell you how many times I've read this book, but I think it's due for another one. Then we have something a little bit different. This is actually the novelisation of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. This is by Richie Tankersley Cusick. I'm going to get better at these names, I promise. I think this is the only book I have that relates to the original movie. I don't know if there are any more books to do with the movie, but I'll have to have a look. I'm sure there might be. Featuring on the cover there at the bottom, the late, great Rutger Hauer, who I'm very, very saddened to hear of his passing. That was very recently. He was also in True Blood and lots of other things, so he holds a little place in my heart, so I'm very sad about that. Of course, saying that, Luke Perry is also on this cover, who also passed away. Then we have Soul Trade by Thomas E. Snigowski. And I haven't mentioned at all, but seeing as I've been talking about it previously, we do, of course, have Glenn Quinn here, who played Doyle. And when I first started collecting Angel books, because I wasn't as huge a fan of Angel as I am of Buffy, Doyle was one of my favourite characters, so I only collected the Angel books that had Doyle on the front cover. I will still be forever gutted that they never made a Doyle action figure. They need to get on it. Then we have another great one, Chaos Bleeds by James A. Moore. Now, this is based on the video game Chaos Bleeds. I don't know if any of you guys ever played it, the PlayStation game. I think it was on Xbox as well. Chaos Bleeds is still one of my all-time favourite PlayStation games. I just love it so much. I used to play it with, I don't know if you're watching Holly, but hi Holly, I used to play it with her all the time. Of course, I was always Faith when I could be, and I just have so many fond memories of Chaos Bleeds. Then we have Cursed, another Buffy and Angel crossover. This is by Melodom. We have City of by Nancy Holder. Blood and Fog by Nancy Holder. Here we go again with all the U's. We have Hollywood Vampire, a revised and updated unofficial and unauthorised guide to Angel. So the same as the Buffy one, but for Angel, again by Keith Topping. We have Visitors by Laura Ann Gilman and Josepha Sherman. Night of the Living rerun by Arthur Byron Cover. Book 1 of the Gatekeeper trilogy, I really should keep those together. Out of the Madhouse by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. The Angel Chronicles Volume 2. Love and Death by Jeff Mariotti. Wicked Willow 2, Shattered Twilight by Yvonne Navarro. Mortal Fear by Scott and Denise Seinsin. Oh dear. We have The Willow Files Volume 2 by Yvonne Navarro. The Lost Slayer, the third instalment, King of the Dead by Christopher Golden. Again, a very, very well-read one. The Faith Trials Volume 1 by James Lawrence. We have 2 copies of The Quotable Slayer, one in hardcover and one in paperback. And these are by Mikol Osto and Stephen Briesnoff. I hope I said those right. Tales of the Slayer Volume 1, which is a collection of short stories. And as you can see at the back, these are written by Nancy Holder, Melodom, Yvonne Navarro, Christy Golden, Dorana Durgin and Greg Rucker. The Complete Slayer, an unofficial and authorised guide to every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer by Keith Topping. I think this is the same as the Slayer one that I showed earlier, but maybe a revised edition. And I don't know if it's just me, but I love this. You probably can't see it on the camera, but it's a bright neon pink colour, which I love. I mean, it doesn't really match Buffy the Vampire Slayer too much, but all the books, as you've seen, are quite dark, so to have a bright pink cover like this is just great. Now, these 2 are not Buffy books, but I thought I would include them here because they are written by Amber Benson and Christopher Golden, Amber Benson being Tara in Buffy, and these are her Ghosts of Albion series. I've got Accursed and Witchery. I don't know how many more there were. Again, these are not Buffy novels, but I might as well include them because most people do know Amber as Tara. Next up, we have the script book, Season 2, Volume 1. These are all the shooting scripts for 6 episodes of Season 2. We have the script book Season 2, Volume 2. A much-loved favourite, the Sunnydale High Yearbook by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder. I might do a flip-through of this book on this channel if anybody wants it, so please just let me know. We have a couple of annuals. We have 2005 and 2004. This next one, now this is a real treasure. I adore this. This is The Making of a Slayer by Nancy Holder. Now, you might have seen on my Harry Potter ones, this is very, very much like page to screen, but it's for Buffy, of course. This is all behind the scenes stuff, and I just love this. I am going to do a dedicated video on this. Can you see that dust when I move that? It's still going. I am going to do a dedicated video on this because there's pop-ups, and it's just a phenomenal book. So I will do a video on that very soon. Then we have the Once More with Feeling script book. If you know me, I love musicals. Buffy musical, I can't go wrong. I absolutely love it. We have the Essential Angel. The Watcher's Guide Volume 3 by Paul Ruditis. These are amazing as well. These are like companion books with behind the scenes of the episode, scripts, quotes, all that kind of good stuff. And this dust is really getting to my throat, so you can probably hear there is a very big difference now. These really, really need dusting. We have Angel the Case Files, Volume 1. My voice is going, I'm so sorry. I don't know if it's talking too much or dust. We have written by Nancy Holder, Jeff Mariotti, and Mary Elizabeth Hart. We have another favourite, The Monster Book. This is by Christopher Golden, Stephen R. Bissett, and Thomas E. Snigowski. And this is, as you can gather, all of the monsters from the show, behind the scenes about them, and it's just, it's amazing. This is the back of that. We have The Watcher's Guide Volume 2 by Nancy Holder, Jeff Mariotti, and Mary Elizabeth Hart. The Buffy Chronicles, an unofficial companion to Buffy the Vampire Slayer by N.E. Genge. And finally we have The Girls Got Bite, the unofficial guide to Buffy's world. And this is by Kathleen Tracy. So out of all those books I've shown you, this pile here are the ones that I've read over the years. So as you can see, I have a lot of reading to do if I want to read all of the Buffy books that I own. It may look a lot stood up like that, but as I say, I've shown you about 70 odd books. So yeah, I really need to get my read on. But that's it. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you like this kind of thing. And I will see you all soon. Bye bye.